You've probably seen the headlines. Interest rates have been finally dropping. And if you're thinking about buying or selling a house, this is the huge news you've been waiting for. But here's the thing, what you do with this information could make the difference between saving or making tens of thousands of dollars, or missing out completely. Now, before we dive in, I've got a free guidebook to home buying and one for home selling that walks you step by step through the process. And these aren't the generic checklists you'll find online. They're full of the exact strategies that we've used to help over 1,000 clients successfully buy and sell homes, even in really tricky markets. Just click the link below to download yours. Trust me, you're gonna want it because navigating this new interest rate environment takes a lot of strategy. So let's break this down. What does a drop in interest rates really mean for buyers and for sellers? And more importantly, what should you be doing right now to take advantage of it? Why lower interest rates matter? Well, when rates go down, buyers instantly gain more purchasing power. So just a 1% drop in mortgage rates can mean saving hundreds of dollars per month on a typical loan. For example, a $400,000 loan at 7% costs somewhere around $2,660 per month. At 6%, that drops to about $2,400. So a difference of $260 a month, or over $3,000 per year. And you know what buyers do with that extra affordability? They often buy more house. They'll compete harder, and they jump off the sidelines and finally enter the market because they just feel more confident in their buying power and the affordability of their new home. For sellers, this means more buyers looking. They get better offers, and in many cases, higher home values. But here's the catch. As soon as rates drop, the competition heats up. So whether you're buying or selling, timing is everything. Buyers, here's how to play this right. If you've been sitting on the sidelines waiting for rates to drop, you are far from alone. Thousands of other buyers have been doing the exact same thing. So you guessed it, any significant decrease in rates means they all start house hunting at the same time. And that's when you get bidding wars, sellers refusing to pay closing costs, and rising home prices. So here's the strategy I'm using with all of my clients. First thing, get pre-approved yesterday. One of my recent clients has been casually browsing homes online for months, but didn't want to bother with a pre-approval until he found something. Well, you guessed it. His dream house hit the market, a super unique custom-built house in his favorite neighborhood. And this is the kind of neighborhood that rarely has anything for sale, much less a gorgeous house like this one. By the time he managed to get all of his documents to the lender and figure out his finances, the house already had multiple offers. So he ended up having to compete and pay a lot more for it than if he'd been ready to write a quick, compelling offer and lock it down before the other offers rolled in. Don't make this same mistake. That cost him tens of thousands of dollars. Being pre-approved early means you're ready to go the moment your dream house and the moment a great interest rate strikes. 2, don't chase perfection. With more buyers re-entering the market, that move-in ready dream home may come with multiple offers and an inflated price tag. Instead, focus on the home that checks your top 3 boxes and fits your budget comfortably. Focusing on a few must-haves and then being flexible on your list of preferences allows you to see a great opportunity for what it is and avoid competing over the dream home that has all the Pinterest projects already completed. You can easily update finishes and make those kinds of fun cosmetic changes later. What you can't change is being priced out of the market entirely if home values rise. 3, think long-term savings. Some buyers get hung up on what if rates drop even further? Sure, maybe they will. Hopefully they will. But you can always refinance later if rates do improve. What you can't undo is waiting too long and then watching home prices climb. Remember, interest rates aren't the only number that matters. Home values also shift. And history shows that when rates fall, prices usually rise in response. Sellers, don't miss the opportunity window. Now let's flip it. Sellers, you're in a very interesting position right now. In the last couple of years, higher interest rates have made buyers more cautious. Homes have sat longer, which means price reductions and paying large amounts of closing costs have been necessary in most cases to get your home sold. But as rates decrease, demand heats up quickly. One of our sellers recently experienced this firsthand. Their home had been sitting on the market for weeks with very few showings. But as rates first began to drop, buyers suddenly had more breathing room in their budgets and felt confident enough to move forward. And we ended up with multiple offers on their home. So here's the proven strategy we're using for all of our sellers right now. First thing, don't wait too long. Yes, rates are dropping, but you're not the only one who knows that. A flood of sellers may enter the market at the same time, which increases your competition. So listing sooner while the buyer demand is heating up, but before inventory has any major spike, can give you the edge. 2, presentation still matters. Just because demand improves doesn't mean buyers will overlook conditions. Move-in ready homes are still what most buyers are looking for, and definitely still the only thing they're willing to pay top dollar for. This is exactly why you need our free home selling guidebook. It shows you exactly what updates and prep work matter most to buyers right now, so you don't waste your money and time on things that won't get you a return. 3, be strategic with your pricing. Lower rates don't mean you can overprice your home. In fact, the most successful sellers will still price competitively to create a frenzy of interest right when they hit the market. That is exactly how you get great offers and avoid the big price drops and paying tens of thousands in closing costs. The double move, buying and selling at the same time. If you're like so many of our clients and need to buy and sell a house at the same time, this is where dropping rates create both challenges and opportunities. So on one hand, your house becomes easier to sell. On the other hand, you'll face more competition when buying your next one. So the key here is careful coordination. Know exactly what updates you'll need to do on your current house so you can list quickly and take advantage of the wave of buyer activity. Get super clear on what your non-negotiables are for your next house so you don't waste time and energy pursuing homes that don't ultimately fit your goals. Talk to a lender about using a bridge loan or home equity line of credit, typically we refer to it as a HELOC, to make the move possible. A great lender will advise you on all of your options and help you pick the very best plan for your situation. And another great option is negotiating a rent back agreement, so you're not left homeless if there's a weird gap between your transactions. This can apply to either transaction. It could mean that you stay in your current home after closing, or you could move into your new home before closing. Now, these negotiations are tricky, so having a great realtor is key. You want someone who knows the local market inside and out and can wisely advise you on offer terms and negotiation strategies. If you're local to the Carolinas, we'd love to help you. But no matter where you are, we have a huge network of the very best realtors across the entire country, and we'd love to connect you with them. Just click the Get Referred link below and we'll personally connect you. This is exactly the kind of situation where our home buying and home selling guidebooks come in handy. They'll help you ask yourself the right questions and get the ball rolling, and help you avoid some costly mistakes. The hidden impact of rate drops. Here's something most people don't talk about. When rates drop, the change doesn't just affect monthly payments, it changes buyer psychology. So when money feels cheaper in a sense, buyers feel more confident to move forward and make this kind of big decision. And just like with anything else, when you see your friends and family all starting to make moves, there's a powerful momentum shift of nobody wanting to feel left out. So that's why we often see homes selling faster and sometimes above asking price after any kind of significant rate cut. Buyers don't want to wait and risk prices rising further, and sellers don't want to miss the surge of demand. Here's the big takeaway. Dropping interest rates equals opportunity, but only if you position yourself correctly. So buyers who wait too long risk getting priced out from rising home prices, and sellers who rush to sell unprepared risk leaving money on the table. So if you're serious about making the move, now's the time to get ready. And be sure to watch this video on interest rate red flags to avoid when buying a house. So if you're serious about making a move, now is the perfect time to get ready. And be sure to watch this video on interest rate red flags to avoid when buying a house.